Hello, this is the 223rd edition of Catch of the Day, available on the Branch Talk YouTube channel. Today we're going to continue reading from a book written by Doug Mitchell, entitled The Four Carpenters, The Ensign, The Time of Jacob's Trouble, and The First Deliverance. Starting at the top of page 62, we read, "That a heaven-like safety and peace shall infuse the kingdom at the time that God shall use it as his battle axe with which to smite the nations is evidenced by the following scriptures. Isaiah 11:10 and 11, Hosea 2:18, tract 8, 64-65. In the following, we find who is to be the first one God is to use his battle axe against. In addition to this great and grand work, while in God's hand as a battle axe, Jeremiah 51:20, he is with it those who comprise the house of David to break the Gentiles' yoke, which now rests upon the shoulders of God's people. With it he is to emancipate his people from Gentile rule from Assyria. 1 TG 9:10. When the saints are given power over the nations, at the first deliverance, the first one that power will be used against is the Assyrian, the king of the north. When he refers to the Gentile yoke, which now rests upon the shoulders of God's people, he is only speaking in the general sense of Gentiles ruling in both the church and in the promised land, and not specifically to the Assyrian's yoke, which he is to place upon Jacob, for there was no specific Assyrian yoke, Sunday laws, on God's people at the time he wrote that. That is, the church has been generally, in the time of the Gentiles yoke, for many, many centuries, but not specifically under the Assyrian's own yoke, as she will be when he brings in his local Sunday laws. As to how God will use his battle axe, we read, God himself declares that Israel is to be his battle axe, his weapon of war. For with Israel will he break in pieces the nations. Then, though it is to be accomplished by the will and direction of Christ, yet Christ will do it through his people. 12 Symbolical Code 5:6. As Christ will not have visibly returned to the earth at that time, the only way for him to direct the work will be through his spirit of prophecy. It's easy to understand why the Assyrian will be afraid of the Ensign, those delivered at the voice of God, the 144,000, those with them, and those who come forth in the special resurrection, God's battle axe, when they receive power over the nations and thereafter return to the land. That is, who wouldn't be afraid of such a company that can truly say, God is with us? Isaiah 8:10. They are truly to be his arm by which he rules, judges the nations. Isaiah 40 verse 10, Isaiah 51 verse 9 and 10, 1 TG 37:14, 2 TG 9:6. With this, and all of the other pieces of this puzzle now laid out before us on a clean table, we can see how all the pieces fit one to another, and we can assemble them together that we may see the finished picture and learn the answer to the ultimate question, what are the four carpenters if they aren't Gentile nations? Previously, we've looked extensively at what Brother Hardif said about the 4 carpenters, and why he thought that they were Gentile descendants of the 4 horns, and why they can't be such. Herein, we will look at the Bible basics concerning them. The Hebrew word translated carpenters, sharash, is also translated craftsman, artisan, engraver, graver, artificer, and smith. It comes from a root word that refers to something being cut, in, plowed, engraved, or devised. It is also used in referring to one holding their peace, not speaking or plowing, engraving with their words. Sharesh is used of those workers who built the temple in the wilderness, and particularly Bezaleel of the tribe of Judah, and Aholiab of the tribe of Dan, who the Lord called by name to do all the work that he had commanded Moses to do. Exodus 31, verse 2 to 11. The word is also used of smiths who forge swords. 1 Samuel 13:19. Concerning those 2, Sharesh is written, The Lord spake unto Moses, saying, See, I have called by name Bezaleel the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and I have filled him with the Spirit of God, in wisdom and in understanding, and in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship, to devise cunning works, to work in gold and in silver, and in brass, and in cutting of stones, to set them, and in carving of timber, to work in all manner of workmanship. Exodus 31, 1-5. And with him Aholiab, son of Ahishmaach, of the tribe of Dan, an engraver, and a cunning workman, and an embroiderer of in blue, and in purple, and in scarlet, and fine linen. Exodus 38, 23. Take care.